guys, welcome back to another video, the third in our series that we're putting up on YouTube. So today we're going to be showing you how to make dough balls. So last time round we showed you everything you need to do to make your amazing dough, like we have just here. So we're going to go more in depth today about shaping the dough balls, the weight that you're going to want to do for cooking in a frying pan, the weight for doing if you're going to cook in a regular oven, and the weight if you're going to be cooking in a wood-fired oven too. So if you like what you've seen so far, please do remember to hit like on the video and subscribe, because we've got loads more coming up over the next couple of weeks as well. Just to recap where we're at so far, this dough we made around 24 hours ago. You can see it's got plenty of life in it, it's got air bubbles starting to form. What we're going to do now is we're going to chop this into dough balls, we're going to leave it to rest for a couple more hours, and then it's going to be ready to make into amazing pizza. First of all, if we're making pizza in a regular oven, you're going to want to make your dough balls between about 200 and 220 grams, depending on how big you want the pizzas to be, how big your baking trays are. If you're making frying pan pizza, again, it's going to depend on the size of your frying pan. So if your frying pan is really small, like 9 to 10 inches, you're probably looking at about 200 gram pizza. Frying pan that I'm going to be cooking in today is slightly bigger, so I'm going to take it up to about 220 grams. That's going to give you a super thin base and a nice crust as well around the outside, which is going to rise amazingly. One of the things we're really famous for is an amazing crust, so really puffed up, amazing crust with the leopard print. We do our dough balls in the restaurant around 280 grams. Again, that's just enough for a super thin base. And enough that the crust is going to puff up, be amazingly full of air, and yeah, covered in that amazing leopard print, which is the holy grail of what we're looking for with pizza. One of the really famous kind of Neapolitan ways of making dough balls is to take, again, your long line of dough and shape it by hand straight away off the dough. That is a crazy difficult way of doing dough, and they'll tell you it takes kind of years of practice as well, but I'll show you how it's done. Not that it's one of my best things, but we'll give it a go anyway. So we take our dough spatula, and then we're going to chop into a long snake. That's just going to make it a bit easier for us when we chop this to recognise, roughly what's the right size. To show you that first method, effectively what we're going to do is we're going to take it in our hands, and we're going to start. We always keep the smooth top of the dough just here. We want to keep that facing upwards because that gives us a really nice clean edge around the top of the dough ball. So we're going to take the dough and start folding it underneath itself, and then we keep shaping it, and we're effectively clamping it so we get a nice clean cut like that. And if we check that, it should be roughly around the weight that we're looking for as well. You can imagine it's pretty difficult for consistency. It's all just done by feel, so you're going to get some dough balls which are going to be higher and some which are lower. And what we really always want to make sure is that every pizza that comes out the oven is exactly the same. It also looks pretty cool if you want to do it that way as well. What's really important here is that we're closing the dough ball. We need to make sure that this bottom is kind of pinched and all in together, and we've got a nice smooth top. What that's going to mean is that when we now leave this to rise for a couple more hours, it's well formed and it's going to relax and then also start to grow. If when you turn it over like this, it's got big holes and like bits that are opening up, what's going to happen is that's going to mean when you go to open your pizza later to make it ready for the oven, those holes are going to form into like thin bits on the bottom of your pizza, and it's going to mean that you're likely to have tears. So really important to get it nice and closed like that. And then the other technique we'll just show you how to do. I think this is the best way if you're making pizza for like one of the first times at home. Make sure your scales are set to 0, and we just chop it 220. We usually say within kind of 5 grams is fine. Just to show you now how we do this rounding of the dough ball. To take kind of your smoothest side, which it looks like that one is, you can see there where I've chopped the dough. What we're doing, pressing underneath using my fingers, and then smoothing over like that with the tops of my with the insides of my hand. So you can see there, it's got the workings of like a super round dough ball. You can see underneath, this is what I was saying about it opening back up again. We want to make sure that that's as closed and as tight as possible. So once we've got kind of a roundish dough ball, what I do is I just kind of use my thumb and index finger as a clamp. Keep turning it, keep clamping it, and then you'll see it's kind of come together there. And what we do is we just pinch that, turn again, like that, press it in, and then it's a really nice round dough ball. And just to finish it, just that extra little bit of work is going to mean that's super round, really nicely tightly closed, and it's going to mean that we get no tears in our pizza later on. So we've now made the dough balls, they're all ready just here. What we're going to do is we're just going to put them away to rise for their final proof. So what we do, you know, in the restaurant we use one of these dough trays, we just put them nice and close together inside. You can see I've left a little bit of room between them. We want them relatively close together because that means when they rise, they're going to kind of, or they're going to relax like this and then they're going to rise upwards, rather than just if we have them kind of just 2 or 3 all dotted around inside, they're all just going to splay more than kind of go upwards. And we really want that elevation, more air inside the dough, lighter pizza, better pizza. If you don't have anything like this at home, you can use a high-sided roasting tin. Again, it just needs something where when it begins to rise, it's not going to kind of stick to the top of whatever it is that you're using. So a high-sided roasting pan. What's really important as well is that we cover this, it's completely airtight. You can use a wet tea towel. If you're using a wet tea towel though, do just make sure that it's weighted down and covering it. Otherwise you're going to come back to a pizza and it's going to have like a hard crust on the top, which is, you know, 24 hours of making this dough and it's messed up at the last minute. Not good.
Behind him?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it.
Is that right?
Thanks mate, it's perfect.
Yeah.
One other thing that you can do, which is really easy, is to take a dessert bowl, or like a cereal bowl, usually something slightly bigger than this, and to pop it in here with just a little bit of oil. The reason you might do this is that after 2 hours or so, we're going to take these dough balls out of this dough tray. If you've never done this before, taking them out can mean that you kind of crush the sides, or you end up with basically a not round pizza. Using something like this is just going to mean that you can kind of gently tease it out and it's going to be perfectly round. It's going to be just a better looking pizza at the end of the day. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget that if you like these videos, please do subscribe, like and comment as well. If there's anything else that you want us to make for you on the next few videos, again hit us up with the link below. Yeah, we'll see you again soon. Ciao.